Hi, I'm Donnie, and this is Heath, and we are the DH. Welcome to another episode of the DH Show, and this is a show about sports.
Football.
Yeah, this one is about football, but we talk
NFL
about
style.
sports-related subjects, usually NBA, NFL, college-related sports, things like that. But on today's show, we're
Which is
gonna
getting close.
Yeah, it is, and I'm getting excited about it. On today's show, however, we're going to be talking a little bit about NFL football, and training camps are underway, as you know. The team that most people have been focused on and have had their eyes on this offseason has been the Patriots, with all of the Tom Brady and the Deflategate.
Slategate and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
What's your thoughts on that?
Slategate, draft picks, the fine. What was the fine again?
$1 million, yeah.
I could get fine on cash or draft picks, but I don't see why you do both.
Well, and the 4 game suspension, too. I mean, as you said before, we talked about they suspended a guy less for beating his wife.
Knocking her out cold.
Yeah.
Cold cocking his wife. He
I
got less
don't,
time.
I don't really understand that where your priorities are there, but and what that says. But it is
At
what
the same
it is.
time,
What it is.
They've got to do something. They got to like reset the precedent. They set a bad precedent. They need to come out and say we screwed it. We messed up in the past. Now's the time to start doing things the right way. They
Yeah,
laid the groundwork.
absolutely. And I mean, we can sit here and argue all day about it. Did he cheat the integrity of the game? How much of an advantage they get? They won the game 45-7. So you know, how much would they have won 35-7 had the ball been properly inflated? I mean, I don't know what we're really arguing
Yeah,
about, but
I don't think a inflated ball makes it 38 points.
no, it definitely doesn't. I mean, they got their butts kicked, and one of their players noticed, hey, the ball feels a little weird, and then there you go. But
Wasn't it a cold weather game?
yeah, it was. It was the
I
AFC
mean, in
Championship game.
cold weather, air compresses anyway.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because he got the 4 game suspension and he'd be eligible to come back the week they play the Colts. So I find
The
that
team.
I think it's safe to say that's going to be a bubble. I would say
I think you will see a 90 to 7
I'd say
game.
over under 50-point wins. I mean that's where the bar's at for that one. That's that's
They gonna sack look like 10 times. They gonna throw. Brady's gonna throw like 8 touchdowns.
we can only hope.
We only hope.
No,
I'm a Colts fan.
do you
so I
think? But
gotta say
obviously
that. I'm
his
sort of a Colts fan.
his case, whatever trial, I don't even know what to call it. Okay, but it's in New York now. They're doing the whole appeal thing, and they took it before a real court.
This is that's the funny part to me. You're gonna go to a real court about the PSI level football.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think they had more important things to do, but
The PSIs are off. We're taking you to law court.
yeah,
To a court of
no,
law.
but I mean, but Brady wants to clear his name, and so it begs the question: how much do you buy into his innocence, if at all? Because why would he fight so hard?
I mean, who cares? Just be like, all right, fine, whatever. I asked for them not to pump the ball up to the maximum level.
Yeah,
Go
but
to
that's
the lower
what
end of the
I'm
scale.
saying.
Besides,
Everybody,
there's not a set. It has to be 8 pounds or it has to be 9 pounds.
Yeah, actually, there is.
There's a range though.
Yeah, a range.
There's
yeah.
a range because, like I said a while ago, air expands in the heat and it compresses in the cold. In a cold weather, you need to put a little more air in the ball because it's going to naturally compress.
Yeah.
Whereas in the heat, you need to have a little less because it's naturally going to expand.
No, but don't you think? But unless he's really innocent, he probably wouldn't have even got suspended 4 games if he just come out and admitted it and be like, hey, I like the ball like this. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. I mean, don't you think that would have been the better road?
1-800, my bad.
Yeah, yeah, 1-800, my bad. No, but that's how I feel. I feel like, if he had just come out and admitted the mistake, unless the only other option is he's really innocent.
And he's just like,
Really,
why?
I really don't know.
Who does? Only he knows.
But I do think it's worth fighting because he could potentially go down as the greatest quarterback of all time, and this could really tarnish his legacy.
Will it be the biggest cheat of all time?
Yeah,
Now?
I mean, you look at no, seriously, think about it. That's an excellent point because they had the whole Spygate thing, and
Which was
everybody.
coach, not the players.
Yeah, and by the way,
And
I
by
don't
the
know
way,
how you feel about
it
that.
wasn't
I think
actually-
everybody does that.
It wasn't
to
actually
some
illegal.
extent. No.
I mean, it wasn't an illegal thing. And besides, you're gonna know. You play a team enough times. You're a coach. Certain coaches they have certain playbooks. Point blank, plain and simple. And you're gonna know what's coming. The trick is, can you stop it?
Yeah, absolutely. But I just back to what I was saying. You had Spygate, you got Deflategate. Patriots are not exactly a blameless organization in all of this, and yet it's a shame because they've got the 4 Super Bowl titles. They had the 3 and 4 years at the beginning of the decade. So nah, they won 4. They just won their 4th. They've been to like 6 or was it 6?
The Giants beat them twice. Yeah,
Yeah, the Giants beat them twice. And if
Took
it
them down
wasn't
when
for
it was
Eli
undefeated.
Manning, I mean, you're talking about possibly the greatest dynasty ever, but still an unbelievable run. And I don't think, this is just my opinion, I don't think a deflated football should take away from that much. They still went out there and won on the field. And they still won the Super Bowl with perfect footballs. So, and they beat a good team, a great team. But anyways,
Did one of the stupidest play calls of all time.
Yeah, but that's another story for another time.
We don't have an hour to go over that.
No, we definitely how stupid that was. No, definitely not. That was. I don't think if you're a Seahawks fan, you really don't want to hear about that again. No. Moving on to another subject, as I said, training camps are underway and the rookies are in and everything, and it's a fun time this time of year. Everybody has got an excitement in the air about their season upcoming. What do you think about some of the teams' off seasons? For example, what do you think about, say, uh, the Buccaneers? They took James Winston with the first pick. Lovie Smith is coming back again this year, and he has a good track record as a coach. Had some success with Chicago, took them to a Super Bowl. How much better do you think the Buccaneers are going to be this year?
Ultimately, they're still a very, very young team.
Yeah, and you can say that about a lot of teams.
Yeah, experience. Look at most of the teams have gone anywhere lately. Or they have.
Experience. And a good quarterback.
About the only team that hasn't had stellar experience would probably be the Seahawks. If you think about it,
and that was
they had a young core that's gone to 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Could very well for the next 6, 7, 8 years could be.
and that
2 or
was
3
that
more.
was another thing I was going to bring up. A good thing you mentioned that. Russell Wilson signs the contract extension for 4 years. I can't remember who it was. Bobby Wagner, I think, tweeted out, "You can't re-sign everybody." So, what do you think? You think it's gonna hurt them potentially in the long run? Paying him the max deal and the max money?
You can't sign everybody, but you got a lot better quarterback. You got a quarterback that's won you one, and very well could the two very well could have won the second one, or actually, who should have been able.
He's their best quarterback in. Wow. Well, actually, you can make the case he might be their best quarterback ever in Seattle. That's a franchise that has historically struggled, and
A few times they've done well, they've been able to do nothing more than maybe a playoff win or two.
yeah, and so to get them to 2 Super Bowls in a row, I think definitely warranted a big deal and a max contract, and I'm glad for him. And he seems to be a really good guy. He seems to be really well grounded, and
Good head on his shoulders. Doesn't seem like a moron like a lot of players in the NFL are.
yeah.
Co-cocking your wife, that's a stupid thing.
No, I don't see him doing that. But there's a lot of guys like Greg Hardy, Ray Rice and his whole situation. I mean, that seems to be an epidemic of sorts. It's the domestic abuse and the violence. And just stupid stuff. I think it was. I know we're getting a little off subject, but who was it? Muhammad Wilkerson of the Jets who got arrested the other day because he was going 143 or something, and he had a 12-year-old in the car and a loaded shotgun, something like that. He was drag racing or something, and got arrested. He'd already been suspended for the first two or three games I think of the season, and now he got arrested, and they're gonna try and figure all that situation out. I mean, it just seems like a lot of these guys don't have their priorities in order.
At some point in time, somebody is going to have to be kicked out of the league, point plain and simple, for something to get the message across.
Yeah, you have to put the fist down. You know, you cannot allow crime and things like that to run rampant. Although, because a lot of people already feel there's a double standard for athletes
look at it this way. If you work for a major company, you're not getting away with that.
no, you'd be fired. I mean, no, point plain and simple, you would be out the door, and they wouldn't even think twice about it, and they wouldn't give you money for the days that you miss it. If you got suspended, they're not going to give you money for the days you miss at work. It's just
They're going to say tough
ridiculous.
luck, don't be an idiot next time.
Absolutely.
Well, good luck getting work in this town.
So, but anyways, we need to move on to a brighter spot. I think a brighter subject, and there's a lot of positive things going on in the NFL today. I think, and a lot to be excited about for the upcoming season. Mainly some good football. I think there's going to be a lot of good teams this year. A lot of interesting races. Some good rookies. First two guys in the draft, quarterbacks with Winston and Mariota, and by the way, the Titans. I think they've upgraded tremendously. I don't know how much as far as wins and losses, but you go out and get a quarterback who I think is a great quarterback, could be a great quarterback. You get a new defensive coordinator. Um, who was it? Was it Dick LeBeau? I think it was. It was somebody. It was a big name defensive coordinator. You go out and get him. Okay, you got Ken Wisenhunt,
And they have
who's
an
had
excellent,
success.
and they have an excellent defensive line already in
And
place.
and absolutely, I think if they have a little bit of an offense, you know, they're going to be all right. They're gonna, they could what they win 2 games last year. They could win 6 games, maybe. I could see that if they stay healthy. But
And that'd be a pretty good turnaround, so they were nowhere near that last year.
yeah, absolutely. You you have anything else to?
I don't care who you are, it's hard to win games at professional level.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And especially if you don't have a quarterback, which the Titans have not had a good quarterback.
Which 20
in
every,
years.
which 20 every 32 NFL teams don't have, really.
Well, they did. Well, they still have not. They're still trying to replace Steve McNair. They're still, nobody has been able to fill his shoes. The late Steve McNair, which is still crazy to say. That was a sad situation, but just a tragic situation. He was one of my favorite players too. I really loved him. I thought he was fun to watch. He really was. He did a lot with the Titans and took them to a Super Bowl, the infamous Super Bowl where they were 1 yard short.
Yeah. That's what sucks.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's get close to the end. Now it's time for our lightning round. All right, a couple quick questions for you.
All right.
Who's going to be the best rookie this year?
I think it's going to be Jameis Winston. I think he's a can't miss prospect if he can keep his head screwed on straight and not steal crab legs or something like that.
Who's your Super Bowl?
Who's
your Super Bowl pick?
Seahawks, and I think they're going to beat the Steelers.
Ooh, I'm going with. Oh, that's a good one to go with.
I think it's going to be interesting.
And last but not least, who's going to be the worst team this year?
God, tough one. Oh my God. I don't really. I'm going to be positive. I don't think there's going to be that many bad teams this year. I really don't. I think injuries are going to get them, but that could be it. But anyways, that's the end of our show, and we'll see y'all later.